Thessaloniki, a city, a history, with its 23 centuries of life, rich in events and impressive in duration, it remains a partial mystery. A city known as the Symbasileousa, the co-reigning city during the Byzantine era, it creates deep impressions because of its eventful life from its foundation in 315 BC to today. It is the only city in northern Greece, and especially in Macedonia, that succeeded in repulsing all the barbarian invasions which broke against its walls until its final conquest by the Turks in 1430. The city owes its constant independent life not only to its fortification, but to its position as well, which was chosen with perspicacity by Macedonian King Kassandros, who gave to it the name of his wife, Thessaloniki, Alexander the Great's sister. Following in the steps of a tradition marked by revolts, civil wars, invasions, riots, and periods of peace, we permit our glance to pause on all those points in space that lead us back to other days, through parts of the old city, the upper city. Front doors, pieces of iron, outdoor stairs, courtyards, grated windows, and a diffuse aroma of basil, tied up with people that have surpassed youth, with habits that have not changed through time. All these create a strange feeling of, one might say, a parallel life between yesterday and today, a tantalizing hint, a door just ajar on the past, which, alas, must remain finally inaccessible to us. Looking at what has remained from the walls that circled the old city, we will remember raids of Goths and Franks, Saracens and Normans, Venetians and Turks. Though nothing exists today to testify to the events of the past, on the contrary, in the city of today, everything moves with a pace that takes the viewer away from any thoughts of yesterday. Buildings comprise a sample of contemporary techniques, and the city's image attempts to blend tradition and evolution. During its journey through time, Thessaloniki has always been at the center of events. Its rich and varied history has allowed its citizens to develop an advanced and lively cultural awareness. And it is exactly this very same series of events that, expressed and transformed through education, craftsmanship, and dedicated workmanship, makes Thessaloniki what somebody might call a city of living history. Yet, somewhere in the city's heart, there is a place that by sheltering characteristic works that comprise a complete and representative sample of Greek art, reveals in silence and transmits from generation to generation the roots, throwing at the same time unexpected light on local history. Beginning our tour of the Thessaloniki Museum, we first meet exhibits dating from the mid-5th century BC. One of the finest acquisitions of the museum is a funerary stele from Nea Kallikratia in the Halkidiki Peninsula. It belongs to a series of outstanding Cycladic gravestones of the severe style and the early classical period that usually represent young girls. The Thessaloniki stele shows a young girl holding a dove, her head inclined slightly forward. The skill and sensitivity of the island artist have succeeded in making the marble pulsate with life. To this group belongs a votive relief with the representations of 5 gods: Zeus, Poseidon, Asclepios, Athena, and Hera, as well as a funeral banquet from PLATIDES, and a votive relief to Asclepios and Hygieia. Finally, a funerary stele showing a young lyre player, which comes from the Halkidiki Peninsula and still retains traces of Ionic influence. One of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all ages took place during excavations in the Vergina area between 1977 and 1978. These excavations unearthed the famous royal tombs of Vergina, the finds of which are displayed in a special wing of the museum and reveal the exceptionally high cultural level of the Macedonian kingdom during the years of Philip and Alexander. Most of the exhibits, and indeed the richest ones, have been found in the larger tomb that is believed to be that of Philip II, father of Alexander the Great, and are amazing both for the archaeologist and the ordinary visitor. A simple inventory even of these objects would require much more time than we have, and we will limit ourselves here to presenting the ones of most interest. Among the important finds from the antechamber is the golden larnax of, as it is believed, Cleopatra, one of the 8 wives of Philip II, with its remarkable craftsmanship. A superb, unique gold and purple cloth was found inside the larnax, covering the cremated bones of the dead princess. It is one of the finest pieces of ancient Greek cloth discovered anywhere. The main field is covered with plant motifs, and its border has a design of spiral meanders. Another important finding is a pair of gilded bronze greaves that may have belonged to the crippled Philip II. The relief ornamentation of the goritos, a combined bowcase and quiver, with the dramatic scenes of warriors pursuing frightened women with children in their arms into the shrine under the gaze of the sacred statues, conveys its own compelling narration, scenes that carry us back to the agitated events of the past. Here, a gold wreath is very delicately worked and consists of myrtle leaves and flowers. Macedonian craftsmen have bequeathed us a rare and valuable find, and at the same time, a bright sample of their skill. A woman's diadem, consisting of an arrangement of flowers and leaves on slender stalks and stems, was found as well in the antechamber. This is not simply a masterpiece of ancient Greek gold work, but in fact, the finest piece of ancient jewelry known. Small but beautiful finds are a golden rosette, decoration from a wooden chest, and a decorative gorgon head, both of an inch diameter in size. More important are the finds in the tomb's main chamber. Most distinguished among them, a golden larnax in which the bones of Philip II were found, with its extraordinary workmanship and decoration. Those who excelled, either simple warriors or kings, fighting for the light, the one that only the sun, which was the symbol of the Macedonian kings, can give, were honored with great magnificence. Here, the bones and the skull of Philip II. Only a few of the many ivory carvings which decorated the wooden beds found in the tomb are on display. They include certain portraits of inestimable value, the bust of Alexander the Great as a young man, another of his father, Philip II, as a mature man, and a third one, which is believed to be of Olympias, Philip's wife and Alexander's mother. The picture of royal wealth and the high cultural standards of the Macedonian court during Philip's reign is amplified in the most unexpected way by the weapons of the dead man. All, from the most common ones to the rarest, the cuirass and the helmet, with a relief portrait of Athena on the front, are products of advanced skill and exceptional craftsmanship. Rust has deprived us of their former shine, though the iron sword, with its gold hilt decoration and the wholly original gold ornamentation of the cuirass, make us forget the deterioration of the rest of the surface. Here, Athena's golden relief from the right side of the king's cuirass. Surpassing all else in refinement, beauty, and craftsmanship is the superb chryselephantine royal ceremonial shield with its admirable ornamentation consisting of ivory, gold, and glass. The boss of the shield is gilded with two ivory figures attached to the gold background, depicting a youth seizing a young girl. The outer rim, antix, is covered with ivory, decorated with a spiral meander. It is a design in which the interstices between the spirals were inlaid with pieces of glass covered by fine gold leaf. Here, the inner side of the shield, made out of pure gold. With, in relief, lions, symbols of power, authority, courage, and protection. Among the rest of the ornamentation, the goddess Victory carries us to the battlefields, to moments of victory and triumph. Philip's gold oak wreath is the most impressive wreath that has been found to date in Greece, and it betrays a very beautiful, original, and realistic craftsman's technique. An astonishing and unique work of art is the bronze lantern with its countless openings and with silver decoration on the neck. From the smaller tomb comes a collection of silver vases, unmatched in any museum in the world. Among the vase decorations, one can see a relief head of Hercules with his lion's skin, and one of a Silenus with its impressively realistic depiction. A third one of a Maenad, this one from a bronze vase, proves the Macedonian artist's ability to work and master all kinds of material. Among the Vergina finds are the finest pieces of ivory sculpture to have survived from the ancient world. Here, a muse with her harp, Dionysos with a Silenus, and a small figure of Pan playing the flute and followed by a dancing Dionysiac couple endowed with all the charm of Bacchic exaltation. The plastic ivory figures are powerfully yet sensitively sculptured. Their flesh is delicate yet compact, and the rendering of the folds of their garments has a charming quality of its own. We will leave the Vergina wing by resting our glance on a silver vessel which was used as a larnax for a young prince and is decorated with a gold diadem, probably belonging to the deceased. At Derveni, 10 kilometers outside Thessaloniki, tombs dating from the 4th century BC were discovered some 20 years ago. These finds were both unexpected and unique, precursors of those made later at Vergina. The most important find has now become famous, without any equal throughout the world, and is a large bronze crater covered with sculptured ornaments. The volute handles are richly decorated with snakes, palmettes, and acanthus leaves. Heads of deities fill the space at the center of the volutes, and one of them is the head of Hercules. On the crater's shoulders, there are 4 sculptured figures belonging to the Dionysiac Thessos, or company. Dionysos himself, with a Maenad on one side and a Silenus with a Maenad on the other. The sculptor's ability to master his material is such. These 4 figures are so realistically depicted that the visitor believes they will jump down from the crater and start dancing around him. The worship of Dionysus was widespread in Macedonia, where it had its own particular character. It is no coincidence that Euripides first presented his Bacchae at the court of Archelaus. On the body of the crater, there is a group of Sileni and Maenads gathering in Bacchic ecstasy around the sacred couple, Dionysos and Ariadne. The crater's reliefs betray supreme artistry, retaining all the mobility and refinement of Praxitelian creations, with the addition of a passionate, almost ecstatic quality which the craftsmen of the 4th century BC acquired from the great Parian sculptor Scopas. Apart from the crater, the visitor to the ΔΗΜΗΤΡΗΣ section can admire bronze vases and a lantern, a bronze columned crater, and the detail of the handle decoration. Among the interesting ΔΗΜΗ jewelry, one can see a knot of Hercules detailed from a golden necklace, a golden earring with decoration of oaks and a calf head, a golden ring with the Greek inscription KLITEDORON written on it, and several rings decorated with amber beads. Quite impressive is a head of Hercules, the mythical forefather of the Argead dynasty. It was part of an earring or some other piece of jewelry. Apart from its original creations, the museum includes some Roman copies of well-known Greek classical works. The most important one is a headless statue of Aphrodite, known under the Roman name DIMITRIS, and it is its fine craftsmanship that places it in an outstanding position among the 50 other copies of this work, scattered in various museums across the world. One of the most important features of the Museum of Thessaloniki is the opportunity it offers to every visitor to admire one of the richest collections of Roman sculpture, dating from the 1st century BC to the end of antiquity. The statue of Emperor Augustus, one of the innumerable statues of this kind set up in the various territories conquered by the Romans, is remarkable for its sturdy structure, its sensuous modeling, and the well-balanced combination of the intellectual and military aspects in a single human personality. There is another outstanding portrait, made of bronze and quite rare of its kind. It represents Alexander Severus, the boy who became emperor at 14 and who enjoyed reading Plato's Republic and was quite responsive to the new religious currents from the East. Two other busts portraying a man and a woman, dating from the turn of the 4th century AD, are the last examples, not only of the art of ancient portraiture, but of ancient sculpture in general. We cannot help admiring the sculptor's ability to eliminate completely the material, physical aspect of his subject and transform it into a vehicle for elusive states of mind. This is particularly true of the male figure, with its uncertain, enigmatic gaze, the imperceptible contraction of the lips, the intricate arrangement of the hair, and above all, the unworldly expression of the face, which makes it one of the most powerful portraits of all periods. The collection of sarcophagi is of considerable importance. Apart from the various examples decorated with garlands, cupids, relief portraits of the deceased, here a representation of children, probably the souls of the dead ones, there are sarcophagi of the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, known as Attic, elaborately decorated with mythological themes. These representations in relief, here an Amazonomachia, a battle with Amazons, are a continuation of the ancient tradition of Greek sculpture and indicate how familiar and popular was the world of myth, even during the last centuries of antiquity. There are instances when the visitor can see among the reliefs certain figures that originate from famous classical works, proving how permanent and deep was that great flowering of the Greek spirit. Quite an example of artistry and craftsmanship is a marble statue, possibly of the Roman Emperor Hadrian. Of a high level of sculptural skill, the armor decoration is particularly remarkable. And in the center of the cuirass, the visitor can see a detail of 2 victories crowning Hadrian, who steps on 2 slaves captured in war. Among portraits, we find one of the Emperor Septimius Severus, which shows a very high level of sculptural ability and skill, shown especially in the way the artist has dealt with the hair and the beard. In general, the series of portraits can certainly claim first place in the art of portraiture which thrived during that period. During both Hellenistic and Roman periods, Thessaloniki played a primary role in the political and cultural history of Macedonia, attested both by written sources and the monuments housed in the museum. The finds at different excavations around the city are numerous and varied. We start our tour of this wing with a female portrait presenting the fortune of the city of Thessaloniki, decorated with a diadem showing the city's walls. Another portrait presents a male, the Roman Emperor Galerius. Here, a head of Serapis, an Egyptian god adopted by Greek mythology, and the head of a girl, possibly of Isis. Her beauty is eternal, as appealing now as it was when she was alive. A statue of the Egyptian god, Harpocrates, son of Isis and Osiris, well known as the god of silence, proves the exceptional skill of the sculptor. The young god is holding the horn of abundance with his left hand and is raising the right in a gesture of initiation. Here, a relief slab depicting a funeral banquet. The seated deceased is presented as living, and the dead man's best friends attend the funeral. A particularly impressive votive relief to Osiris. A married couple sacrifices at an altar, watched by their son. Here, a Hermaic stele found in a Roman temple of Serapis. And here, funeral offerings from Hellenistic graves. These terracotta figurines usually present goddesses. Outstanding among them is this terracotta figurine showing the birth of Aphrodite, whereas others present a number of hierodoules, or courtesans. Another unusual collection attracts the attention of the visitor, the one of glasswork. Not all of these exhibits are of high quality, but they are typical and representative examples of ancient glasswork, which set the foundations of the technique and eventually replaced both ceramic and faience products. Those glassworkers, full of enthusiasm and the vigor that came from discovering a new material succeeded in giving their works daring new forms, alive and sensual. Very interesting to the visitor of the museum are the Roman floor mosaics discovered in Thessaloniki. Among others, there are busts of male and female figures, multi-figured compositions from Dionysiac mythology, and several animal figures. Each separate figure, as well as the composition as a whole, displays the mosaic artist's remarkable skill. Some very interesting finds exhibited in the museum have come from the ancient graves excavated in the vicinity of present-day Sindos, about 23 kilometers west of Thessaloniki. A systematic exploration of the area revealed the existence of a very important ancient cemetery, datable to the archaic and early classical times, around 560 to 450 BC. Clay vases are common funerary offerings found everywhere in Greece. Here, a red-figured crater. And here, a warrior's bronze helmet decorated with gold bands around the opening. Among the Sindos finds, a necklace made of amber beads. A twisted gold wire hair ornament. And a gold necklace of 3 spiral rows. Many of the graves, of both males and females, were found to contain gold rings. Here, one carrying the inscription Doron, i.e. gift, on its surface. One of the outstanding finds, a detailed pure gold necklace, decorated with beads in the shape of a jar and double axe ornaments. Another interesting piece of jewelry are 2 necklace pendants with filigree decoration. Women were buried with their favorite belongings. Here, 2 glass perfume vases and a ceramic arivalus used as a perfume bottle. Some of the offerings of iron are rare, even unique. In addition to the customary iron swords, grave finds include iron models of carriages and furniture. Here, an iron carriage with 2 yoked and 1 unyoked clay mules. The pottery of Sindos is of special importance because it provides a chronological indication for the dating of other objects. Typical examples are an Attic black-figured Idria, possibly presenting a Dionysiac Thessos. A cock-shaped vase, and a siren-shaped one. A terracotta figurine, possibly representing a Negro. Sitting terracotta idols, perhaps representing goddesses. And a female bust, probably of the goddess of fertility. Among the helmets decorated with gold bands, this one is distinguished for its decoration of animal figures. The rare mortuary practice of covering the entire face of the dead with a mask, beaten over a mold, has been observed in 5 instances. Here, the mask of a warrior within his helmet. and here one of a lady. Impressive among the buried lady's favorite belongings, a pair of silver ornaments with rock crystal beads. To the same group belongs a valuable gold necklace of biconical and round beads with 2 spherical pendants in the middle. A truly admirable sample of the high artistry of the times is this necklace of pyramid-shaped pendants and an amphora-shaped one in the middle. It is a very good example of filigree and granulation techniques. Every tour must come to an end, and at the end of every tour, we must return from the past to the present. However, the treasures of a museum do not belong only to the past. They offer us at the same time a way to move forwards towards a better tomorrow. In the words of the eternal promise, Amas de Yesomatha Polo Karones, and we will become much better than you. Not through wars and heroic battles, but through an unceasing struggle for brotherhood and cooperation, so that the final victor will be love, so that one day we will be able to perceive more clearly the true meaning of mankind.